When many people write, they struggle and suffer. Perhaps you are one of them. If so, this book is for you. Or perhaps you love to write and want to get better at it. This book is for you too. Or perhaps you long to explore the world of creative writing but aren't sure where to begin. This book is for you as well. This book is a guide to the basics of writing. A very kind of... fuck. A very different kind of guide from other writing books. It will not give you strategies for getting published, nor will it show you technique for digging deep into your psyche. It will not teach you grammar or how to write a best-selling novel. Instead, it will show you how to develop certain basic and essential skills that all writers need, whether they are just beginning to write or have gotten blocked or confused somewhere along the way. What sets this book apart is that it sees writing as a certain kind of work that anyone can learn to do, and to do well. You do not need some magical quality called talent or inspiration, you need skills. Unfortunately, these skills are rarely taught in schools, and even in most writing workshops. When so many people sit down to write, they are held back because they simply don't have the skills they need. And then they usually blame themselves. I don't have any talent. I must be stupid. But the fault is not theirs. The fault lies with an educational system that has not provided them with the basic skills they need to do a writer's work. Many people are also held back from developing their own abilities as writers because of a pervading myth that the only real writers are those who are born with the skills that they need. That's nonsense. Writing skills can be acquired by anyone who is willing to put the time and energy into the process of acquiring them. You do not have to be born with writing skills. You can learn them. This book will show you how to do that. We know how challenged you can feel when you start a substantial research project, whether it's a PhD dissertation, a BA or master's thesis, or just a long class paper. But you can handle any project if you break it into its parts, then work on them one step at a time. This part shows you how to do that. We first discuss the aims of research and what readers will expect of any research report. Then we focus on how to find a research question whose answer is worth your time and your reader's attention, how to find and use information from sources to back up your answer, and then how to plan, draft, and revise your report so your readers will see that your answer is based on sound reasoning and reliable evidence. Several themes run through this part. You can't plunge into a project blindly, you must plan it. Then keep the whole process in mind as you take each step. So think big, but break the process down to small goals so you can meet one at a time. Your best research will begin with a question that you want to answer, but you must then imagine readers asking a question of their own. So what if you don't answer it? Why should I care? From the outset, you should try to write every day, not just to take notes on your sources, but to clarify what you think of them. You should also write down your own developing ideas to get them out of the cozy warmth of your head into the cold light of day, where you can see if they make sense. You probably won't use much of this writing in your final draft, but it is essential preparation for it. No matter how carefully you do your research, readers will judge it by how well you report it. So you must know what they will look for in a clearly written report that earns their respect. As you know by now, from time to time, I like to give you life advice. This next bit is the most important lesson I can impart to you, so listen up. If you're approached by some guy to drive his chariot, ask his name. If he says Hector, do not give consent. Do not stand still, do not walk away, run very fast. When I teach the Iliad, my favorite comic routine is pointing out what happens to Hector's charioteers. The average space between a charioteer being named and them being skewered is about 5 lines. Occasionally, he gets speared after being identified, which seems really unfair. We really reached the point where we only have to say something like, "Oh, look, a new charioteer," then pause. Everyone knows what comes next. Now, Homer, who has a good bit of central comedy in his epic, but I'm pretty sure this is not an instance of that. Rather, it stands for an example, or several examples of the sort of the surrogate fate that befalls heroes, or alas, the people close to them. All you need to communicate is something to write with. A pencil, a pen, a paintbrush, a computer, and something to write on. Paper, canvas, or a printer. No one tool means success. As you'll see, writers have their own preferences. The important thing is that they're comfortable with them because comfort means relaxation, and relaxation means higher creativity. It doesn't matter what tools you use as long as they help you write. You can even delude yourself into thinking you must have the latest screenwriting software in order to write your script. Ask any aspiring writer why he has yet to write his first script, or why he hasn't finished the one he has been working on for years, or without hesitation he'll offer you an endless string of excuses. I don't have enough time. I'm not good enough. I have kids. I can't afford the latest screenwriting software. Or I don't have an agent. These excuses are often a front for self-doubt, but success in any field can only come after you build your self-confidence. The good news is that confidence is developed, but in Hollywood, even a little bit goes a long way.